People always assume betrayals happen in the dark. Whispers behind closed doors, quiet insults no one else hears. But sometimes the person you love chooses the brightest, loudest, most humiliating moment possible to show you who they really are. She looked at me during my own promotion party, glass in hand, smile sharp enough to cut, and said loud enough for the entire rooftop to hear, "Don't let this get to your head. You're still the same loser I met." The whole place froze. Conversations died mid-sentence. Even the music seemed to choke on itself. I just lifted my glass, breathed in slowly, and replied, "You're right. I am the same guy. The same guy smart enough to know when it's time to walk away." Then I set my drink down, slid on my jacket, nodded at my VP, and walked straight out, leaving her standing alone, surrounded by 40 stunned professionals who suddenly didn't know where to look. But the part no one expected? Monday morning she was waiting for me in the parking lot. And the reason why was something I never saw coming. I'm 31, a pretty average guy who spent the last 5 years grinding his way up from entry-level to senior management at my tech company. Last week, that work finally paid off. I got the promotion I'd been chasing. A big one. Higher salary, stock options, a real step forward. My girlfriend, Sophia, 29, should have been excited. We'd been together for 3 years. I thought she'd be proud of me. Turns out I was extremely wrong. The company hosted a rooftop celebration. About 40 people showed up. My team, folks from other departments, even a couple VPs. It was one of those perfect nights. The skyline lit up, great food, everyone in high spirits. Sophia arrived late, already irritated. I chalked it up to traffic, but the truth was she'd been off ever since I told her about the promotion. Making jokes, little digs. Hope you don't turn into one of those corporate robots. Don't forget about the little people. Stuff I laughed off at first, but she kept going. The party was flowing smoothly. People were congratulating me, sharing stories, toasting. I was genuinely happy. Then Marcus, my VP, tapped his glass to get everyone's attention. He gave this heartfelt speech about my growth, my work ethic, how I'd climbed from entry-level to senior manager in just 5 years. I tried not to get emotional. And that's when Sophia rolled her eyes. Not subtly. Not quietly. She rolled them so hard I swear half the rooftop saw it. Marcus ended the toast, people cheered, glasses lifted. And then Sophia, at full volume, decided to take center stage. "Don't let this go to your head, babe. You're still the same loser I met 3 years ago." Silence. Ice-cold, jaw-dropping silence. My coworkers stared. The VP stared. Marcus looked like someone had unplugged his brain. Sophia actually smirked, like she'd just delivered the punchline of the century. So I lifted my drink and said the only thing that felt right. "You're right. I am the same guy, the one who knows when to walk away." And I left. No yelling. No drama. Just gone. Before I even got to my car, the messages started. "Where are you going? Seriously? You're just leaving?" I was joking. "This is embarrassing. Come back." "No." I went home, packed a bag, headed to my buddy Marcus's place, different Marcus. Turned off my phone and let myself breathe. Saturday morning, I finally turned my phone back on. 47 missed calls, 83 texts. Every message was about her. "You humiliated me. My Uber cost so much because of you. You made me look bad. You ruined the night. It was just a joke. You're too sensitive. This is your fault." Not once, not in a single text, did she acknowledge what she did. Then came the voice messages. Crying, yelling, apologizing, accusing, round and round. But again, never accountability. Sunday she escalated. She posted on Instagram. "When your boyfriend can't take a joke. Fragile ego, toxic masculinity. Real classy." My coworker Amy screenshotted it and sent it to me. The comments were entertaining. "Girl, what did you do? Maybe don't roast him at his work event. This feels like missing context." Then someone from the party chimed in. "You called him a loser in front of his bosses. That wasn't a joke." She deleted the post an hour later. That evening, while she was at her sister's place, I went back to our apartment. Changed the locks, fully legal, leases in my name. packed up her things. 3 years of relationship condensed into 5 boxes and 2 suitcases. It's crazy how small a whole relationship can look when it's sitting on the floor. Monday morning, 7 a.m. I pull into the office parking lot. And there she is, leaning against her car, holding Starbucks like she's starring in some Hollywood reconciliation scene. "We need to talk," she said. "No, we really don't," I replied. "You can't throw away 3 years over one comment." "Watch me. I talked to my therapist." I blinked. "Since when do you have a therapist?" "Since Saturday," she said confidently. "She says I have issues with men succeeding beyond me." "Sounds like a personal problem," I said, heading toward the building. She followed close behind. "I make more money than you." "Not anymore. That's what this is about. Your fragile male ego." "It's about respect," I said. "Something you don't have for me. I do respect you. You called me a loser at my promotion party, in front of my bosses." She threw her hands up. "I said you're the same loser I met. That's endearing." "Endearing? Really?" We reached the entrance. The security guard eyed the situation. I pointed to her Starbucks cup. "Your things are in my apartment's mailroom. Building management knows you're picking them up today. You can't kick me out. You don't live there, Sophia. You have your own place. I stay with you 5 nights a week." "Not anymore." I walked inside. She couldn't follow, no badge access. Her muffled yelling echoed through the glass. Update 1. The rest of Monday was something. Everyone at work knew. People were being overly kind, the kind of polite that says I absolutely heard what happened, but I'm pretending I didn't. Around 10 a.m., my boss Marcus called me into his office. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah, I'm good." "For what it's worth," he said, "nobody thinks less of you. In fact, your composure was professional." I thanked him. He continued, "HR asked me to let you know, if she shows up again, security will deal with it." Apparently after I left that morning, she had tried to slip into the building behind another employee. Security stopped her. She caused a scene. There's camera footage. At lunch, I sat with my team. Amy brought it up carefully. And that's where the next part of this story begins. The moment I walked into work on Monday, Amy looked at me with that expression people get when they're trying to decide if they should pretend nothing happened or open the wound and poke it a little. "So," she said slowly, sliding into the seat across from me in the cafeteria, "are we talking about Friday, or are we pretending the universe glitched for a moment and none of us saw it?" I took a sip of my coffee. "We can talk about it." She let out a dramatic exhale. "Good. Because that was brutal. I swear if I'd had a drink in my hand, I might have thrown it straight at her." I chuckled. "Honestly, I'm glad you didn't. That would have turned a dumpster fire into a full-blown explosion." "But how?" she asked, leaning forward. "Are you this calm?" If someone said that to me in front of my boss, HR, and half the company, I'd still be screaming into a pillow. I shrugged, and for the first time, the realization felt clear instead of painful. "Because it finally clicked," I said. "She's always been like this. I just never wanted to see it." And God, it was true. 3 years of little stings disguised as jokes. "Don't wear that, people will think you're trying too hard." "Your friends? Kinda basic. That hobby is for nerds." "You sure you can handle that project?" "Not one big cut, 1,000 tiny ones." I told myself weren't a big deal. It was death by 1,000 comments, and I had been too blind, or maybe too hopeful, to notice. By Tuesday, her text shifted tone again. "My key doesn't work." Very mature. "I need my things." "This is a legal eviction." "My dad is a lawyer." Important detail, her dad is a dentist. But sure. Let's go with lawyer. Around 3 p.m., my phone buzzed with a call from her sister Adriana. "What did you do to my sister?" she demanded before I could say hello. "I broke up with her," I said calmly. "Well, she's a complete mess. She hasn't eaten in 2 days." "There are restaurants," I replied. "Plenty of them." "This is serious," she snapped. "She might lose her job." "And how is that?" I asked. "Related to me?" "She can't focus." "That still has nothing to do with me," I said. Your sister publicly called me a loser. At my promotion party. In front of my coworkers. That's not what she told me, Adriana said sharply. Not surprised, I said. Ask her again. By Wednesday, a package arrived at the office. Since I don't open personal mail at work, I waited until I got home. Inside was a typed letter, from a real lawyer this time, accusing me of emotional distress, illegal eviction, defamation, and property damage. I actually laughed out loud. Forwarded it to my company's legal team, apparently one of the perks of my new role. They responded within an hour. This is frivolous. Do not respond. If she proceeds, we will handle it. Thursday she took the nuclear option. A long Facebook rant. Yes, Facebook. In the year 2025, she wrote, 3 years wasted on a man whose fragile masculinity couldn't handle a strong woman making a harmless joke. He illegally evicted me. Emotional abuse is real. Know your worth. And the comments were not the cheering squad she expected. Her aunt, honey, what exactly did you say at the party? A friend who was actually there, you literally called him a loser. A coworker, girl, this ain't it. A random acquaintance, maybe don't insult people at their celebration? Of course, a handful of her echo chamber friends wrote the predictable. Yes, queen. Men can't handle powerful women. You're better off. But even they sounded unsure. Friday morning, exactly 1 week since the party, she tried another parking lot ambush. Except this time, I was ahead of her. I parked somewhere else and used the back entrance. Security later sent me the footage. Her standing near my usual spot for 2 hours, checking her phone, pacing, shivering in heels in 45-degree weather. That's when things drifted from chaotic to surreal. Monday morning, HR called me in. We received a complaint, the HR rep said. Let me guess, I replied. From Sophia? No, from someone named Adriana, her sister. Again, the complaint claimed I was harassing Sophia. I haven't contacted her once, I said. We know, HR replied. We checked your phone logs and emails, but we need documentation. Sophia had actually recruited her sister to call my company and accuse me of harassment. A bold strategy, but still impressively dumb. Tuesday, things got even stranger. I noticed a spike in my LinkedIn profile views, around 15 new ones, all from employees at Sophia's company. Then I saw why. She'd posted on LinkedIn, of all places, a dramatic essay about navigating workplace harassment and when your partner's success triggers their masculinity. She tagged my company. Within an hour, my boss called. Don't worry, Marcus said. Legal is already on it. You're the victim here. By the end of the workday, the post had vanished. Corporate legal departments do not play games. Wednesday, an unknown number called. Normally I ignore those, but for some reason I answered. Is this Marcus? A man asked. Who's asking? This is Tom. Sophia's manager. I want to talk off the record about some issues she's creating. Oh boy. She's been telling people you're stalking her, he explained, claiming you got her fired. Is she fired? I asked. No, he sighed, but she might be soon. She's missed 6 days. When she is here, she cries in the break room, accuses male co-workers of reminding her of you, and, this is the wild part, she told us the janitor was hired by you to spy on her. The janitor, I repeated. Yes, because he has the same hair color as you. I rubbed my face. Tom, I haven't contacted her once. We know, he said. We checked. We're just trying to figure out how deep this goes. Also, are you planning any legal action? We need to prepare for any cross-claims. Not currently, I said. Understood. And, sorry. You didn't deserve this. Thursday she changed strategy again, this time targeting my family. My mom called first. Who is Sophia and why is she messaging me paragraphs about my abusive son? Then my sister. Your ex just sent me a whole essay about toxic masculinity. Then my cousin. Bro, she's commenting on all my Instagram pictures calling you a narcissist. Should I delete them? I had to send a full-blown family group message. Everyone block Sophia. Do not reply. Sorry for the chaos. Friday night I thought things had hit rock bottom. But they hadn't. At 8 p.m. my doorbell rang. I checked the camera. Sophia stood there with 2 police officers. I opened the door. Sir, one officer said, we're here for a wellness check. Someone reported you might be a danger to yourself. I blinked. Hey, what? A woman named Sophia, the second officer added, said you've been threatening self-harm. I actually laughed, not a happy laugh. The disbelief kind. That's my ex. She's upset about our breakup. She also said you owned weapons, the first officer noted. I own a kitchen knife, I replied. For cooking. The moment the officers stepped inside, one of them gave me that familiar look, the kind reserved for messy couples fights gone public. Sir, is this some kind of domestic situation? I didn't sugarcoat it. Yes. She humiliated me at a work event. I ended things, and now she won't stop harassing me. Before I could say anything else, Sophia jumped in as if she'd been waiting for her cue. See? He even admits he has weapons. Both officers slowly turned their eyes toward her, like they were trying to figure out if she was serious or performing for an audience. Ma'am, did you file a false report? One of them asked. What? No. He's dangerous. He changed the locks illegally. It's my apartment. Your apartment? The officer repeated. He says you don't live here. I used to, she stammered. Look at him. He's lost weight. He's depressed. He's unstable. I've been going to the gym, I corrected. One officer switched his attention back to me. Do you want to file a harassment complaint? Actually, yes, I do. They documented everything, took my statement, and warned Sophia that filing a false report is a crime. She tried to argue, tried to twist it, tried to perform her innocence, but they shut her down before she could spin another story. As the officers escorted her out, she shouted over her shoulder, "This isn't over. You can't just throw me away." "Ma'am, you need to leave now," the second officer said as calmly as if he'd said it 1,000 times before. A month passed after that chaotic promotion party, the night everything snapped. And now it was time for the final chapter. Because honestly, this story needed closure. And so did she. The harassment complaint I filed escalated quickly. Faster than I expected. The wellness check stunt she pulled, calling the cops on me to save me from my non-existent mental crisis, was the final nail in the coffin. A judge granted a temporary restraining order almost immediately. A full hearing was scheduled 2 weeks later. And in those 2 weeks, she absolutely unraveled. Legally, she wasn't allowed to contact me. So she got creative. She started a podcast. No, really, a whole podcast. The Gaslight Diaries, Surviving Narcissistic Abuse. Just 3 episodes in, and she was already reenacting our relationship like she was auditioning for a role, with her playing the victim and me cast as the monster in her imagination. Episode titles included, When His Success Becomes Your Prison, The Night He Showed His True Colors, Financial Abuse in the Modern Age. But episode 2? That one was special. She retold the promotion party, except in her version, I had abandoned her at a corporate gala full of strangers, publicly shamed her, and used my success as a weapon. It would have been impressive if it weren't so delusional. The podcast got 47 downloads, and I'm fairly certain 30 of those were just her refreshing the page. But then something genuinely funny happened. I got a message from Tom, her manager. Hey, just wanted to let you know we had to terminate Sophia. I typed back something polite, but let's be honest, I wasn't sorry. He continued. She posted proprietary company information on LinkedIn in a rant about toxic work environments. That was the last straw. Oh, and she still has you listed as her emergency contact. Should we update that? Yes, definitely update that. Then came the restraining order hearing. She arrived with her legal representation, which turned out to be not a lawyer, but a paralegal friend. Meanwhile, I walked in with my company's actual legal team. It wasn't even close. Her evidence of my supposed abuse? Screenshots of me not replying to her texts. A dramatic interpretation of my statement about walking away. A picture of her belongings neatly boxed up, which she claimed was destruction of property. And, of course, her podcast transcript. My evidence? Her false police report. Screenshots of her social media harassment. Witness statements. 12 of my coworkers wrote detailed accounts of the promotion party incident. Security footage of her waiting in the parking lot for me after work. Her LinkedIn meltdown tagging my company. And full documentation of her contacting my family. The judge didn't need long. Restraining order granted. 2 years. No contact. Direct or indirect. She tried desperately to interrupt. But what about my things? You may send a representative to pick them up, the judge replied. What about closure? That's what therapy is for. This is discrimination. No, the judge said firmly. This is consequences. After the hearing, I genuinely thought that was the end. I should have known better. She sent her mother. A 65-year-old woman appeared at my door with a rented U-Haul. I'm here for Sophia's belongings, her mother said gently. They're already downstairs with security, I told her. She says you have her grandmother's ring, the woman continued. What ring? I asked. The one you were supposed to propose with. I blinked at her. We never discussed marriage. And she never had a grandmother's ring. Her mother sighed, the deep kind of sigh that sounds like years of disappointment. I know. I had to try. She's not well. I'm sorry. I thought I raised her better. She loaded the boxes and before leaving she said, for what it's worth, when I heard what she called you at your party, even I was shocked. Thanks, I said quietly. She's staying with us now. Lost her job, lost her apartment, and she's dating some man she met on a podcast forum who thinks the government is tracking him. That's something. Take care of yourself, she said before driving away. Last I heard, through whispers and updates I never asked for, she's still living with her parents. The podcast died after 5 episodes. She's now working part-time at a crystal shop and dating that conspiracy theorist who claims 5G ruined our relationship. Recently she posted about becoming a life coach for survivors of narcissistic abuse. She has 0 clients. Meanwhile, I'm doing great. The promotion has been challenging, but I've been crushing it. I started dating someone from my gym, someone who actually celebrates my wins, someone who smiled and hugged me when I got a raise last month. A wild concept, I know. This entire ordeal taught me one thing. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. But when someone tries to publicly define who you are, correct them once, then walk away. Let their own behavior do the rest. Because she was right about one small thing. I'm still the same guy. The guy who knows his worth. The guy who doesn't tolerate disrespect. The guy smart enough to walk away from a woman who confused cruelty with humor. The restraining order still has 20 months left. Not that I'm counting. I don't need legal paperwork to remind me to stay away from that hurricane. The memory of her screaming, "You're the same loser I met," at my own professional celebration, that's all the protection I'll ever need. Funny thing is, I guarantee she's still out there playing the victim. Still telling people she survived some abusive ex. Still insisting that calling someone a loser at their biggest career moment is just being real. Best of luck to the conspiracy theorist she's with now. He's going to need it. As for me, I'm good. Actually, I'm better than good. Promoted, respected, valued, and most importantly, free. Turns out walking away from toxicity wasn't just emotional survival. It was the smartest career move I ever made. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got a team dinner to attend. And something tells me no one there will be calling me a loser. Standards matter. And honestly, feels damn good to finally have them. If you enjoy raw, real, and brutally honest stories like this, make sure you subscribe to Dark Infidelity Stories. Hit like, share, and drop a comment. Your support keeps these powerful stories alive and helps others find them.